Arc Strider Super is beast in melee close ranges, and I've just used it to clear the top deck of the embarkment, and I'm heading into the Castellum. Hello, this is IronBill, a tool to grind here once again with a catalyst farming tip. I am doing the tractor cannon today, and I am set up on the Leviathan. Now, a short look at my setup here. I'm at power level 359 Arc Strider, and if you look at it, I'm running Arc Bolt Grenade, Gambler's Dodge, and Triple Jump, and then of course I'm going Lower Tree basically for the disorienting blow. This will stun enemies whenever you strike them. This can be a big deal, especially with powerful enemies. As far as my weapons or my armor is concerned, I am running mostly Masterwork for the boost for supers. This does help survivability, even though my resilience is pretty low. I'm setting it about 3 right now, I think. It's what I typically run here, and I balance out the mobility and recovery. Now, the tractor cannon progress right now is at 61%, and I want to show you how quickly you can bump that up by 5 or 6% at a cycle. So I now have my super. I'm going to go back out into the embarkment and start the circuit. You see my tractor cannon count is at 3, so I need ammo. The purpose of going back out to the embarkment, of course, is to get ammo. Now, I recommend you do this on a hunter because of the Arc Strider Super being so powerful. It can single-handedly wipe this stuff out. So I slide over here to the right, line up my enemies, and pop the super. You'll get 3 before they can move, and then the 4th will jump to the left. Typically, you can hit circle to dodge towards them, and you won't take too much damage. And just kind of work your way back and forth. Watch your radar, and that'll help you. Even though you're being blinded by their blasts, you'll have a good idea where they are. And after that, collect your ammo, reload, and into the Castellum. Now, in the last video, the wave spawned directly outside of this door, but of course every week that rotates. And this time we're going to have to drop down the hill along the right wall. Now, if you should do this quest later on down the road, of course that location will move, but the concepts are basically the same. Now, what I'm going to be trying to do here, you'll see them instantly spawn, is generally you want to try to group them up because you only have so many shots. And if you can get them to group up, you can hit 2 or 3 with the same tractor cannon. And I just run right through them. You get 4 shots. I'm pretty low on health, and so I dodge up to this room so I can reload, recover, and they group up a bit better outside of the one straggler. Now, this doesn't always work, but you see in this case I got a pretty good grouping on that. Now that leaves me, I think, something like 11 shots, which is more than enough to come through here again, which I will do in a second. Now, you want to be careful to collect all of your orbs before you go, because the plan here is to run 2 cycles of ads down here and then go up and use the super on the embarkment top. So here we go. We're going to quickly run out. Not going to go all the way outside though. All you have to do is go until the it transitions to the next area, and you'll see Leviathan pop up in the lower left hand corner, and you'll know you're there. As soon as you step in here, you know you're good. It says embarkment in the upper left. You can come right back in. Now again, you can kill all those enemies outside if you choose, but the quest is about kills. It's not about the level of the kills, meaning yellow bars give you no more percentage than red bars do. So if you're trying to be time effective here, what you want to do is you want to stay in ammo, and you want to keep killing as often as possible. So here we go again. We have our grouping, sort of. I'm trying to bait them over to me, so I'm going to go back up in this area. Now the reason that's kind of important is because there are a lot of enemies in here, and you only have so many shots, and sometimes it takes 2 shots to kill an enemy. So it's just more efficient on your ammo to get them to group up as much as possible. Occasionally you won't have enough to finish up, and you'll have to kill them with a scout or melee. That time, yeah, I had more than enough. Usually about 8 shots will do it. So if you have 9 or 11, you're pretty good. Now if we look at the progress, those 2 rounds gave us 6%, so we're now up to 67%, up from 61%. And that took maybe 5 minutes to rotate through that, so probably not quite that. And then by now the super is back up. We'll head back out to this castellum, or not the castellum, I'm sorry, I keep saying that, the embarkment. And the door pops open. This time we will go out. Flip through it. There's 1, 2, 3. One jumps over. Now sometimes they get tricky, but if like the one just slipped behind me there. Yeah. And sometimes they'll get behind that pillar, but for the most part, you'll have more than enough energy to do it this way. Now I've not tried it with a warlock, but my gut feeling is storm trance wouldn't last nearly long enough to do that, and you'd wind up dying out there. And I don't know for sure where you'd spawn after that. It may be further on down, and you'd have to fight your way back up. So if you do have a hunter and you do have a Raiden Flux chest piece, to me, this is a no-brainer. That's the way I would do it. In fact, it is the way I'm doing it. And you'll see they just appear. Up into the room. And I think this time they wound up splitting up on me a little bit. And it's the reason I'm hanging in here showing this again, because it is repeating the process, but it doesn't always work out the way you want to down here. And I'm having to use more ammo than I would really like. Don't have much damage going there, so I'm going to go ahead and finish him off. I think I have 8 rounds left. Pretty much the minimum. Collect the orbs. Now when I was playing from below, I would super that top group, drop down, kill the stronger bosses that were just below, and then drop down and kill the other lower level enemies. And that gave plenty of ammo, but it just took so long. You know, the travel alone to and fro was eating up time, and it just takes a lot longer to kill them than it does to kill the red bars. So I kind of fell back on this. So I have 8 shots here. And if I can get them to group, it will be more than enough. Sometimes you wind up just a little bit short. There's a good group. About resilience, if you have raid armor, that low number shouldn't scare you too much. If you don't, I probably would be dying a lot more here. And you see that 8 shots was just enough. Masterwork and raid armor, it is important. So if you've not gotten into raids, it's a really good idea to do it. Let's have a look at the progress. The raids will be the best place to get armor that will help you in these situations. You see now it's at 73%. And that's pretty solid. So with that, I'm going to in the video. This is MrIronBill, Too Old to Grind. I hope this really helps you out. Thank you very much. Dancing it out.